Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of this kind of Minecraft series that I've got going on. For those of you guys who are new here, this is a archival series of my Minecraft world. This is my long-term Minecraft survival world. I've had it for a little under a year now. And for more info, go watch episode 0 of this series because I can't really... I don't want to talk about it a ton in the intro. Anyways, as you've noticed, I'm in Old Town right now, and that's because I just got done working on the Ocean Monument build, which took so long, and I'm so happy to be done with it. But I don't know, I was doing some thinking. I was kind of trying to figure out what I could do in terms of like a smaller build, and so I think I want to do something over in Old Town because as you can see, we have this really kind of pretty serene spot over here. It's like a little, I'm really proud of this town. I think it's one of the better looking. A lot of these builds are mine, and these are some of the best builds I've ever created. So, with that being said, I want to clean up this area over here because we created a very temporary villager setup that ended up becoming permanent. And I don't even get why we have some of these villagers. Like, Silk Touch makes sense, but Luck of the Sea one. So yeah, in this episode, I want to move all these villagers out of here. I want to knock this structure down. I want to knock whatever this is down. I want to kind of get rid of all this right here. This random bone meal generator. All this over here. And move all of our storage elsewhere because it's kind of ugly right now. Before I do that, I need to get some rockets. Oh no, Ooh, this is bad. Hopefully... So I might have forgot my rockets at the Guardian Farm. Ooh. Okay, yeah. Okay, I only have one rocket. I gotta make it count. Okay, let's see if I can make this one singular rocket work. Ah! It is like a relatively low build. Like, it's kind of sunken in. So, maybe this rocket will work. Let's see. Yep, okay, perfect. Anyways, now that I'm here, this actually gives me an opportunity to kind of show you guys what a decent amount of AFKing looks like in here. Because, as you can see, I'm kind of rolling in Prismarine right now. Like, this is pretty freaking good. So I think what I want to do is I want to create a shopping district in the server. I don't know, I'll go back over to Old Town and talk about some of the ideas I have. Okay, so now that I'm back in Old Town, there's a few builds that I think I want to do. First of all, I want to actually add a path over here, just because we don't really have one yet. I'm kind of thinking of having a fishing shack right over here, because at the Guardian Farm produces cod, raw cod for some reason, and I would kind of like to have some sort of like area to store all that cod at, and I'm kind of thinking about just giving it out for free to new players that join the server, and like, I don't know, just having a little fishing shack right here as a little resource to provide for people, So yeah, I'm gonna go sleep first, but then knock down a bunch of stuff. What the heck? Why do we have so many frogs over here? Okay. Be free, guys. Okay, I just got everything all flattened up, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of strange seeing everything this open. I feel like the barn was a little, like, hidden before I did all of this, so it's very weird. I don't know if I like it or not, but anyways, to kind of talk about my plan for the build, this whole, I kind of like feel like this whole section of my world is very oaky. You know, like, this is all oak, this is oak, this is oak, this is oak. Then once we get back here, it kind of becomes darker. But it's like, it's a transition, you know? It's not a straight, I gotta find a bed. It's not a straight, like, I don't know. I really like the way how everything subtly kind of becomes darker with the wood. Because this is all light over here. And then, once you get back here, you get a little bit darker, 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 darker. I mean, that's a little lighter. Then stone. And then it becomes very, like, oaky and stuff like that. Anyways, with that being said, I think I want across the river to be oaky and light. So for the build, I'm kind of considering using this block palette. I think this is one of my favorite builds. Using this block palette to kind of have the darker rustic vibe with all the spruce, but while also having some lighter, like, wood poking through. I think that Nether Portal just does a great job of, like, making it look rustic without it being super dark, you know. So I'm gonna copy that block palette over here. So these are the materials I brought. Why am I holding jungle logs? I guess these can all go in here. For the build itself, I'm kind of considering making like a smaller version of this build. I like the way the roof looks on this one. I want to section it off into, like, ooh, my elytra's almost broken. I want to section it off into, like, blocks, if that makes sense. So I don't know, I'll start, like, I'm gonna start building and it'll all start to make sense. Alright, so I've put in some work, kind of created the shape. I gotta be honest, I don't know how I feel about the oak. I'm almost considering, if I fly over there, there's this windmill build that I really like, that I did over in Newtown. I'm kind of considering, instead of using oak, using mangrove. I probably should have tested this whole thing out in creative first, if I'm being honest, but, you know, sometimes you just want to do stuff. You know, there's this windmill build over here, and I'm almost considering kind of using this block palette, while also having the kind of tough and copper block palette, so I believe I should have a shulker box of mangrove in my house up here. By the way, for those of you guys who do not know about this room, this is kind of my hidden attic room with kind of just bulk storage of a bunch of different types of wood and just about anything I would ever need. When I get burnt out, don't know what to build, I just like sitting back, relaxing, putting on like a podcast or a YouTube video or something, and you know, grinding materials. So that makes everything really convenient for me in the future, because now I don't need to like worry about collecting wood and stuff like that. So anyways, with all that being said, I think I forgot my I might have forgot. I need to get pale oak. Okay. Jump cut in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm made a little bit of progress. It's looking a little strange right now. This red is kind of hard to work with, I can't lie. I think I want to add in some like white accents to make it look a little lighter. Not really sure how I'm gonna do that. I also want to throw in like a water wheel right here. I think that'd be a cool little touch. But I don't really know how I'm gonna do that, so I don't know. I'm gonna play around with the design a bit and see what I can figure out. After tweaking with some things a little bit, I'm getting to a design that I think I like. So you can see I got the mangrove going on. I think that the mangrove trimming, it's a little bit weird, but I think it works. I might switch that out for like dark oak though. I don't have everything wrapping all the way around yet. Just because I want to get kind of like a test view before I actually commit to anything. And I don't know, now that I look at it, I think dark oak might be a little bit better here. Gosh, this is a hard build. This is a really strange build. I was not expecting to like spend so much time on a block palette. But you know, it's coming along. So I'm gonna try out some other block palettes, and I'll cut back when I find one that I really like. Okay, I said I was gonna try out a couple different block palettes, but I think I found the one. I really like this one. One thing I'm kind of considering now that I'm looking at it is I might have this section be a different kind of block palette. Like maybe this red mangrove look for this side window over here. Cause like I kind of want it to look like there was this section of the house and then this section got added on later and then this section got added on last. So like, yeah, I think that'd be a cool kind of variation. Huh. Man, this is a difficult build. This is really tricky. Wow. One thing that I'm a little bit worried about that I wasn't really thinking about until I started building this is that this build is really similar to this build right over here, which I mean, they're definitely inspired. Like this was inspired, it was inspired by this shape. I originally wasn't gonna do this whole block palette, but now I kind of just am. But I think it looks different enough, and there's like enough different shapes. Also, let me clear some of the sugarcane out of my way. There's enough different shapes on it that it looks different enough. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, I'm trying to get a couple different views of this place, but I think the exterior is pretty close to being done. I'm gonna go ahead and work on the interior a bit. I want to have some sort of cod disposal system, so I'm gonna have to do some redstone, I guess. But I don't know. I'm kind of proud of this build. It's not the best, but I think it looks cool. I think it fills up the space pretty well, and I think it looks like an industrial fishing shack. So that being said, let's do an interior. Alright, so as you can see, I am done with the fishing shack, and so let's just go over it. I had a lot of fun making this build. I don't know, it kind of took a second to lock in, especially since I was testing out so many different wood types, but I am really happy with how this whole thing turned out. So as you saw with the sign up there, it says cod. This is actually a cod shop, I've decided. If you walk in, you know, kind of greeted by a big empty room. On your right here, there's a just small little bedroom. I'd like to imagine this is where the fisherman sleeps of this building. But over to the left here, there's this big weird machine, and you might be wondering what it is. And as you can see in the dispensers, there's just a lot of cod. So if you step onto the pressure plate, just gives you a lot of cod. And I don't know, the reason why I did this is because my Guardian farm produces so much cod, like double chests upon double chests. And I know that I will never need that much, but you know, maybe other people on the server might. Big issue I've noticed with new players is that they, you know, the grind for food is a little annoying, so hopefully this will help combat it. Anyways, lastly, let's have this balcony over here. This is kind of where I imagine the fisherman catches his fish at. But, yeah, let me... Oh, I can't zoom out anymore. Anyways, with all that being said, I am officially done with the cod shop, and I think it looks really cool. So, oh shoot, kind of want to get a picture of this for the thumbnail. So with all that being said, I'm officially done with the cod shop, and I think it came out really good. So thank you very much for watching this video. This is episode 3 of my archival series of this server, and today's date is January 8th, 2026. Thank you very much for watching.